Come on!
Goku!
Thank you, Dragon Balls!
See you around.
Stay alive, Vegeta.
I bet my last ounce of pride!
Alright, what's going on, fam? Raiyuden here. It's the end of the month, end of July. It is time to do another tier list video. The meta has changed quite quickly this time around. Every new character release has shifted things drastically. A new unique equip, a new ultra drop. So many things kept moving around. And despite so much changing, I don't really like to do emergency tier lists. I like to stay consistent with the end of the month slot, just because it gives us the full picture of what July looked like. I think that fits the bill. If you guys think there's a better way to tackle it, let me know. But if they maintain this very rapid pace of changing the meta, I may do a beginning of the month, middle of the month, and end of the month tier list, assuming the middle of the month warrants it. Just so we could stay up to date with what things are looking like. But for now, I think end of the month is just a great way to go about doing this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about our top 10, starting with number 1. I don't think many people are going to be shocked by this. I think it goes to Ultra Vegito Blue. They just went way too far with that plat equip. My goodness. It is crazy how the caveman characters of a few years ago can be some of the best characters in the game just with some basic stats alone. But in UVB's case, they went above and beyond. Not only did they give him significant base offensive stats, defensive stats, they also gave this guy a monstrous amount of damage inflicted. This was already a character that relied on his combos, stacking up damage so he could keep filling up that unique gauge, just so he would be more and more of a threat. Having a character that ramps up like this, start with such high damage inflicted, is why this guy is comfortably at number 1. The 4th slot though is where they go overboard. They increase the charge rate for this guy's unique gauge. That's, strike number 1. But strike number 2 is they also gave him stacking of damage. And then strike number 3 is they gave him uncancelable type neutral with cleansing. Arts cost increases, destroying of cards, and reducing ki. These are the biggest disruptive effects that exist in this meta. Often you see Yellow Goku Black and Legend Rosé and characters of the like doing what they can to slow down your combos. But Vegito Blue's unique gauge plus the plat equip basically disregard every single form of disruptive effects. He can cleanse away all the arts cost increases. He's able to deal with having type disadvantage for a short period, but then again, his ultimate's a one-shot. And he's going to fill up his unique gauge more frequently, which nets him the card, the key, and the additional damage. So this guy got pretty much everything he needed. I genuinely felt maybe they went too far with it. If they were going to give him the increased charge rate, I wouldn't have given him the cleansing. If they were going to give him the cleansing, I wouldn't have given him the increased charge rate. But because this character has both of them and nothing can stop him, yeah, he's number 1 for a reason. He is without a doubt the hardest hitting character in the game, and this guy just melts everybody. The fact that he keeps getting his vanish back every time he defeats an enemy makes it even worse, because as he stays on the field, as he continues to stack his damage, as he continues to pressure you when it comes to just dealing with him, he's just going to keep getting his vanish and become more and more of an intimidating character. So all those things together make this guy number 1 in my book, the one-man army Vegito Blue. So number 2 for me is then going to go with the ultimate wall, Legend Broly. Legend Broly is such a bizarre character. When he came out, top 3. When he had his best friend, the Red Broly, like undisputed, actually potentially disputed number 2. When we got to the part 2 of the anniversary, he was lower top 10 because Gohan and Trunks with the anti-endurance and the easy blue card netting from the Legends action really hurt this guy when it came to earning the gauge and disrupting the opponent. Now though, Yeah, he is probably the only character that stands in the way of Vegito Blue. Any character that works on stacking damage, they all have to answer to Broly. And Vegito Blue pretty much answers to nobody, but the only person that could probably stand in his way is Broly. The auto counter gauge is one of the few things that can genuinely stop Vegito Blue's onslaught. We've already covered Broly at length. At this point, you guys already know the best team is going to consist of him, the Buu Duo, and Vegito Blue. But this guy has always been relevant on every single meta team, and I think his value right now is at its highest because he is the only person that can stop Vegito Blue. So I'm putting him at number 2. For all the other reasons I've already mentioned, the 2 lives, the debuffing, the stacking of damage, being a defensive wall, but now with the fact that he stands as the one answer to Vegito Blue. So number 3, pretty damn fitting, goes to the Buu Duo, the Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Vegeta. Yes, for a short while, the entire game had to bow before this character's Spirit Bomb. They were a force to be reckoned with. For a short period, they were regarded as the number 1 character in the game, but priorities have shifted. Once Vegito Blue was basically able to match the Spirit Bomb damage with a full unique gauge and his ultimate, it was a little bit of discredit to the Spirit Bomb, given how long it takes to earn. And then Broly being the one character that can stop Vegito Blue while simultaneously being a defensive wall against the Buu Duo is why he took the number 2 spot. So they take number 3. Some of the strongest disruptive effects in the game. The Spirit Bomb is still an incredibly hard-hitting move. They stack up damage really, really well. But this character for me is a bit of a head-scratcher. I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful for this guy, but I can't help but have small grievances with them. I don't take issue with the Buu Duo having the 50% HP disrupt, speeding up them earning the Spirit Bomb. If the character did not have that, then this character would have been regarded as pretty poor performance-wise. You're talking about a prep mode that needs 2 phases and needs a significant amount of committing to the character. I think if you're on the losing end and you have something help speed you up to catch you up, I think that's appropriate. You as the player doing better and beating up the Buu Duo, you're rewarded by other things. It's not like the opponent is just going to let the Buu Duo just comfortably sit there and get killed, especially now with Vegito Blue existing. But you are, at the same time, earning Rising Rushes, or Dragon Balls rather. You're setting up all these other characters, you're carrying your momentum. It's not all for nil just because they have a disrupt at 50% HP. My grievances with this character are everything else outside of the Spirit Bomb. I find it weird how the tag switch aspect of this character works, because it kind of feels like it doesn't really exist. You tag switch very shortly for your first stage of the Spirit Bomb, and then afterwards you are just solo Vegeta, and then once phase 2 is over, you're just solo Goku. This character is designed with the tag switch in mind to help them deal with disruptive effects via the cleansing, as well as the key and the cards that they draw. They tried to alleviate that by this character having an attack gauge that fills up twice as fast when Goku finishes the Spirit Bomb or fails it. But at that point, the character doesn't feel all that impressive anymore. When you are solo left with the Goku, he just doesn't feel that great. It's nice that he has another 50% disrupt, but they just feel like they fall short. They peak really high when the Spirit Bomb is available, but then they taper off hard once that phase is over. Even now, they're still in the featured boost. You know, right after this character's release, we see characters sponge their Spirit Bomb. There are characters out there that don't have any worry tanking the Spirit Bomb. Now, of course, they'll take a lot of damage, but this entire character is committed to that one prep mode move, and with characters right now being able to live it, I don't know if that sells well for how well they're going to age. So right now I have him at number 3 because The Spirit Bomb is still powerful, it still lets them be type neutral against Broly, they still stack damage, and hell, the Vegeta side being in phase 1, the disruptive gauge is very, very annoying. They truly feel like 3 characters in one, but they really rev off fast after the Spirit Bomb is thrown. And with characters already living the Spirit Bomb, Chalet can live it, the new Android 17 and Golden Frieza can live it, we're seeing Yellow Goku Black live it just because of the unique equip. We're going to start seeing more and more examples of characters not worrying about the Spirit Bomb. So for now, 3, but I'm not sure how well that's going to translate towards them aging. So that's what I got for now. That is my top 3. They run the show, and if anything, this is the set of characters you guys see running the game. All right, number 4, and do remember that this is all just personal takes. I'm going to give number 4 to Trunks and Gohan. I think this character is... I don't want to go as far as to say underrated, but I feel like a lot of people are not paying close enough attention to this character. A lot of this game revolves around key reduction, card destruction, arts cost increase. But one of the big fortes of legend characters is they comfortably gain overdrive. They either have ways of increasing their charge rate, such as the mini Super Saiyan 3 Daima Goku, or they simply fill the gauge when they fill a specific action. For Gohan and Trunks, it's the Legends action. They also do it when I believe the confrontation gauge is filled. I could be wrong about that. My head's all over the place. But they have easy ways of filling the overdrive gauge, and that right now, I would say, is one of the strongest abilities ever. The overdrive gauge from Trunks and Gohan is basically a mini version of the Spirit Bomb, a mini Rising Rush, a mini UVB Ultimate, and this character can just get it all the damn time. They still absolutely destroy Broly. They have no issue whatsoever doing that. They can still absolutely thrash the Buu Duo. Once you have that overdrive, you just overdrive them and they're dead because they have a conditional second life. And the characters' teams are still decent. You may not see Blue FSK or the Revival Gohan ran as much anymore because the Spirit Bomb is a big threat to them, but I think they pair really well with the 2 Goku Blacks. And when you consider the fact that this character can actually do something about UVB's combo potential, you realize they are very, 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 I guess, underrated in the meta. They have -2 card draw speed with card destruction, one of the few things that hurt UVB because for 30 timer counts, he has level 2 card draw speed and he will very quickly fill up the unique gauge. Once you pair Trunks and Gohan with the 2 Goku Blacks, you're looking at a character that has 2 card destructions, -2 card draw speed, and 2 other characters that follow similar suit, increasing arts cost, lowering card draw speed, and killing cards. So the future setup with Trunks and Gohan is like the de facto best possible trio of disruptive characters that exist right now. Outside of an auto counter, that would be the next best thing to really stop UVB. On an offensive front, they are still shredding everybody. I feel pretty comfortable using them with just one singular Zenkai buffer, and the Legends action is so overpowered because it is very easy to catch people off guard doing a Legends action and killing their Gogeta Blue, their Broly, anybody with the anti-endurance aspect of it. So I'm going to go ahead and say Trunks and Gohan are number 4. They are fantastic. They are extremely strong, and the continuous overdrive that they keep earning is vital in this meta. If you don't want to deal with an auto counter, you got Legends actions and overdrives. If UVB is going to be shutting you down when it comes to just his little 50% disrupt, overdrive is going to comfortably kill him. And the same thing is true for the Buu Duo, where in their phase 1 prep mode, Vegeta is going to have that continuous disruptive gauge. The overdrive combo will always kill someone pretty comfortably. The only reason why they're lower here is because Spirit Bomb will destroy them, as will a single sidestep into an ultimate. They're really suffering from the fact that they don't have a second life. But then again, that's the right way to design them. If they had a second life, that'd be absurd. It's just one of those weaknesses that they're going to have to watch out for. So I wouldn't say as powerful as UVB, but they are still extremely powerful and useful in their own right. So I got them at number 4. Number 5 is going to be our good friend Ultra Gogeta Blue. I feel bad for Ultra Gogeta Blue. He's always stayed within the top 5 because the Stardust Fall is pretty comfortably one of the most match-defining mechanics in the game. Being able to do your combo potential, drop combo, type neutral, nuke out the entire enemy team at once, that ability will forever be strong. Drop combo to a type neutral Stardust Fall will always be strong. Having a back pocket type neutral nuke like that to snipe somebody out will always be strong. It's the kind of thing that the Buu Duo, the VB, and the Trunks and Gohan have to watch out for, because Gogeta will absolutely thrash all of them. The reason why Gogeta is losing some points in my book is, again, his teams. I don't know what the Legends devs were thinking. Every single character within the anniversary had a pretty comfortable set of characters that helped them out. It just feels like Gogeta didn't get the same amount. He did not get that same respect. I feel like everyone would rather run Buu Duo, Broly, and Vegito Blue than run Gogeta on pretty much any one of his teams. If you think about it, on the sort of coped God Key double Goku Black setup, VB fits it better and can leverage the God Key Zenkai buff way better. For movies, people would probably prefer leader slotting Vegito and using Bardock as the Zenkai buffer. Same premise for God Key. It just feels like Gogeta got kicked off of a lot of his main teams. Now, there are people that sort of run a double red setup with Broly, and I understand that could work. But this just feels like another instance of running red Broly, green Broly, and Gogeta and juicing him up to make up for the fact that he doesn't have a really comfortable team so far. It doesn't help also that green Broly has gotten more relevance now. So similar to what hurt him last time, we now have another auto counter character that's going to get in the way of letting Gogeta stack up that damage to doing a nice Stardust Fall to hurt the entire enemy team. 3 of the best characters ahead of him in my book have a single life, which is where the Stardust Fall is going to shine a lot. That's where his main ace in the pocket is, but it's definitely more difficult given what the current meta landscape looks like, as well as teams. So I got him at number 5. He's always been top 5. He's always a really dangerous character. I just feel like once this guy gets a nice set of ranged allies, I feel like Gogeta is going to do really good work. I feel like he's going to age pretty damn well. All right, next, number 6. I have to go with our good friend, Yellow Goku Black. What a powerhouse of a unique equip that this guy got. I would say damn near generational, and the kind of equipment that should inspire all other future unique equips that drop. This guy is a juggernaut. As you can tell, 3 of the main meta characters are red. 2 of them are just absolute behemoths, and 1 of them is a red plus character. And despite all of that, Yellow Goku Black not only is able to sustain himself well enough, but the tools that he brings to the table via his unique equip just make him stay in the meta. He's an example of a character that can live the Spirit Bomb, simply because the character has really easy Zenkai buffers, one of them being the yellow Broly. He just fits beautifully with the blue Legend Rosé and pretty much any other third strike-oriented character. And the guy just does so much damage with his blue cards, even now. So despite everything around him just signifying that we should be killing this guy, he still is ready to tango because his unique equip is just doing so much work for this guy. I think he's going to do well for quite a while. It's going to be a while until he gets power creep, but I think Yellow Goku Black takes the number 6 spot. Being able to tank all the powerful characters that you see ahead of you, being able to sponge the Spirit Bomb, which is like a signature one-shot move, one of the bulkiest characters in the game. So for sure, Yellow Goku Black for me is going to be in the number 6 spot. And of course, that naturally means his best friend, Legend Rosé, is going to be in the number 7 spot. I think Legend Rosé got a little bit hurt because now Broly is seen more, so this character has to be careful when it comes to filling up the unique gauge. Ultra Vegito Blue doesn't really care about him individually just because he's able to get the type neutral and he does an astronomical amount of damage. The Buu Duo, same idea. If they could do the tag switch, they don't care too much about Legend Rosé. Where he really shines is with the other Goku Black or future allies. This guy individually is hurt and is going to be lower top 10, but when you pair him with the yellow Goku Black and another future ally, then you're looking at one of the most disruptive characters setups in the game. You got 2 card destructions from Trunks and Gohan. Yellow Goku Black is able to disrupt with the full unique gauge, and then Rosé is continuously disrupting you when this character's HP falls below a certain threshold. And he just maintains it indefinitely, and he also has the standby debuffing, which is huge given how many powerful moves you're looking ahead of you. So for me, he's going to be in the lower top 10. A big part of it is just damage guard numbers are really starting to push themselves, which is insane. And Legends Rosé, I've had instances where he actually struggled to kill Vegito Blue. Vegito Blue is just comfortable with getting a bunch of type neutral, but I still think his disruptive effects are where a lot of his value is going to show itself. And with him and Yellow Goku Black, they do really, really damn well together. So next, number 8. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Android 17 and Golden Frieza. Now, I do want to emphasize something here. Android 17 and Golden Frieza are only in the lower top 10 right now because every single one of their teams stink. LOE stinks. Androids stink. USS, big stink. This character on their own have to carry 3 dirt tags, and they somehow manage to do a ton when it comes to bringing them up a couple points. This character has team-wide healing, team-wide supporting. They're able to stack damage for allies even when they're on the offensive front. They stack damage for themselves at the same time as well when they're using their strikes and blasts. They got just overall really powerful disruptive effects. They are the battery for every single one of their teams. Every single one of their teams are going to need the extra damage guard, the extra healing, the extra damage inflicted, and they decided we're going to jam it all in one individual character. So for now, they're lower top 10. You can try and leader slot them on different teams, and you can go ahead and try to make them work over there. I decided to use them with the 2 Goku Blacks, and they work really well there. But this character is desperately demanding another character that locks the opponent in so they can not just swap out to somebody else. When they take that 3rd hit and you swap out of them and you do the -100 key, you need to swap into a character that doesn't allow the enemy to swap into somebody else, so that just sure shot stops their combo. A good example of this character is Broly. That is yet another point in Broly's favor because he's able to achieve that for this character. But that should tell you what sort of characters we're going to expect for 17 and Golden Frieza. We will see USS characters in the near future that fill in that gap. Remember, Tria Might Goku years ago was deemed a mediocre character because it felt like his unique age just didn't offer enough. It only became apparent when Ultra Turles dropped where the value was going to shine. That unique age could not flourish unless it had an ally that could sustain themselves, so on standby he could fill up the unique gauge, maintain his team, disrupt the enemy. The exact same thing is happening for 17 and Golden Frieza. They need allies to fill in that 1 or 2 little gaps that exist in their disrupt. Once that happens, which it will happen, then people are going to understand why this character is held in such high regard. I will admit, on the lower star amount, they are a little bit squishy. You will have to build them accordingly, but that's just how this game works. It's a 3v3 game. Build them according to what you're working with. You should understand that by now. So I think Hit and God Goku are on the table for getting unique equip. It's sort of suspicious that this character has returned multiple times at this point. And that character has the disruptive effect that we would ask for. Once they take a hit, +2 sub count, the opponent can't go anywhere. That is perfect for this guy. Broly already does that job, but again, that's not his mainstay team. So for now, lower top 10 for Android 17 and Golden Frieza. They are still capable in their own right, but they're desperately waiting for a few other characters to help bridge the remainder of what they need to do. All right, next, number 9. This one will be a bit of a surprise for folks, but it is actually Goku and Bardock. Very interesting that Goku and Bardock see so much value. I mean, when they got their Zenkai Awakening, we were kind of on the fence on how to grade this guy. We weren't sure if they were great, if we were expecting some other characters to help him out, if something was supposed to happen, but I think I understand why they Zenkai'd them the way that they did, because right now, I would say this is the most valuable time ever for this character. Their disruptive effects are not that powerful, but this character is both blue and green, helping them deal with the two peskiest characters in the game, being Vegito Blue and the Buu Duo. This character is also not a powerful opponent, so the Bardock side can live the Spirit Bomb. They're going to be a comfortable type advantage. They don't have to worry about that one-shotting them. Fantastic. AoE greens, super valuable in this meta. You may have noticed that in my list, there is no AoE green character running the show. So Goku and Bardock can get that for free. And their arts cost increase just pairs well with the Buu Duo. You often see those two ran together, or Goku and Bardock on just like a juiced up green Saiyan team. So they fit as like the comfortable third technical character that punches in the holes against what other meta characters exist. They can help you deal with Vegito Blue, they can help you deal with the Buu Duo, they can tank the Spirit Bomb, they have an AoE green. It's stuff like that where they get their value. So I think you see them often enough to deem them worthy of a top 10 list. And similar to Android 17 and Golden Frieza, they have the typings to deal with two of the top 3 characters in the game. So number 9 for me, Goku and Bardock. Alright, 10 and honorable mentions. This one should be pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and throw someone you see quite often, and that is LF Cell. Where is he in this list? I think LF Cell is definitely worthy of the top 10 list. This guy is featured on a tremendous amount of teams. You guys see him being ran with a super juiced Trunks and Gohan setup. You see him ran on Future. And he's going to be, for now, one of the main players for Android 17 and Golden Frieza. But that is more of a reflection of how bare bones Android is. On a Future setup, you still see people run this guy with UVB, just triggering the final explosion for UVB to come in and just comfortably kill somebody because you're going to have no tools to use. But otherwise, he's just an all-around solid Zenkai Awakening, and he fits pretty comfortably on all of his teams. You may have also noticed that he's one of the few purples that also fit on this team, and he can help deal with Android 17, Golden Frieza, Goku and Bardock, as well as Broly. But the baby support that he provides, the unique gauge allowing for fun little vanish plays, and then just the final explosion, I think are pretty damn valuable. And he is also another character with an AoE green. So for androids as well as Future, that is super, super valuable. So Cell is kind of a funny Zenkai. Occasionally he disappears and then he comes back into a top 10. Then he disappears, then he somehow comes back to a top 10. It is funny to see Cell just keep flip-flopping back and forth. But right now, he's going to be one of the main players on androids, and poor Android 17 and Golden Frieza got to carry the rest of it. But that's going to be my top 10. Let me know what you guys think. I do have some honorable mentions that I want to throw in here, just because I don't want people to think I forgot about them. We'll start with the obvious one, and that's going to be Shalette. I feel like Shalette did have some good value prior to Android 17 and Golden Frieza dropping, but his main gimmick is getting countered quite frequently. The Buu Duo have 60 timer counts worth of protecting themselves from the feint, and now Android 17 and Golden Frieza provide that as a support for their teams. So one of the biggest tools Shalette had is taken away from him now in the form of him having no feint proccing on the opponent. Now, he still has some value because he's one of the few characters that can actually sponge the Spirit Bomb. I did give him that praise before, and you could run him as a decent ally for Gogeta. Unfortunately, though, as the meta continues moving forward, I think Shallot is sort of getting left behind here. He's still a decent character, but a lot of the things that he was praised for are getting countered now. So it's becoming increasingly difficult to sort of justify Shallot being used on any of his teams. Next is going to be Super Vegito. Same idea for Shallot. It's still a decent character in his own right, still powerful in his own right. The Legends action, the multiple ultimates. You would see him as a mainstay on a pure Majin Buu saga setup, just because the Awakened equip for the Buu Duo would require it. Unfortunately, as damage guard numbers push themselves and as more characters become more and more powerful, it does hurt Super Vegito, who at this point, despite being 14 stars for myself, cannot take a hit. So he's going to be a good honorable mention pick. And then we can also throw in Sword of Hope Trunks, just because Sword of Hope Trunks, I feel like the Final Hope Slash is a bit underrated. I feel like a lot of people don't really turn towards Trunks just because when he came out, he didn't really have fantastic teams, so they didn't give his prep mode ability a chance. But him alongside UVB can be a pretty terrifying duo, because the prep mode Final Hope Slash still does a pretty comfortable job of killing everyone, assuming you give it a really good drop combo. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, are there any other characters to throw in here? Oh, I do want to throw in the 1% Pan, of course. I think 1% Pan is just a fantastic battery and support character. I think for both hybrids and movies, she just provides a lot for them. And if you're able to land the kick, you just get such a significant advantage being able to swap into any of your allies, and then also being able to just get free priority on your opponent because they're locked in. So Pan deserves to be in the honorable mentions list for sure. And I think I'm going to leave the honorable mentions list there just because it could go on forever and ever. Either way, that's where my meta snapshot top 10 list for the end of July looks like. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below, what you would change, what you think would be different. But until next time, peace.